All right, welcome here live at Studio Pink, where dreams come true and we make things happen. We are live here, Heidi and I, my sister and I, and we're going to be discussing some highlights from Career Conference. So if you were able to go, you can at least watch this and feel like you got to take part in a lot of really, really great training that we were there for, that we got to witness. So I'm going to go ahead and start and share with you some of the things from the amazing National Sales Director, Deb Pike. She is somebody who's actually here locally in the Omaha area, and she was one of our nationals that got to speak to us. And so she trained the directors, and one thing that she said is so crucial that you do every day if you're wanting to build your business and always be powerful and passionate is to write 10 affirmations a day. And so last week we trained on visualization and also that time that you take to meditate, to visualize, and to get your brain and your mind in the right place so that you are always looking at your goals and you're always dreaming again. And that it doesn't become a stagnant thing, but it becomes a very active thing that you look at again and again. And so I think it was 2 weeks ago, we actually turned on the song Million Dreams, and we had everybody look for pictures that they would put on their goal poster or vision board or pic collage on their digital phone. And so I thought that would go like hand in hand. Now, if I asked you guys who's done that, who's actually looked at that every single day since we last talked, who would be able to say, me, I have, and that's the trick is reminding yourself, setting an alarm on your phone to say, look at your vision board today and make sure that you affirm yourself at least 10 different ways and 10 times today. And so that can happen in a couple of different ways. I've watched some people just say, you talk in the present tense. So you say, I am, not I want to be. You say, I am a millionaire. I am a Cadillac senior sales director. I am a national. I am a free car driver. I am a red jacket. I am a homeowner. I am debt free. I am a have all the freedom in the world kind of a gal. And you say that as if it's already happened and that you are living that dream. I've also seen some people say, I am so blessed and so happy that ... and they say that for each affirmation. I'm so blessed and so happy that I have a free car. I'm so blessed and so happy that I am a homeowner, et cetera, et cetera. So, and then always, if you don't believe in yourself today, just know that somebody out there does believe in you, like me. I am somebody that I hope that you feel does believe in you. And so if you do have doubtful days that you're like, can I really do this? Just know that somebody does believe in you. And you can always reach up to me and say, breathe belief into me, Emily. Tell me I'm awesome. Tell me I can do it. Tell me this is for me and that I'm not crazy and that, and that I'm not some, washed up wannabe. Tell yourself those affirmations, and if after those 10 affirmations you still don't believe what you're telling yourself, then take a minute, get on the phone with me, whether it be Vox or text or phone call, and have that conversation so that I can lift you up and say, I believe in you. Let's make a game plan and run for it, and let's go to the next level. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so Heidi's going to take us to another thing that she learned from seminar.
Yeah. So one of my favorite speeches or words of wisdom that I gleaned from this seminar, this career conference, was from Stacey James, and she's the #1 national sales director. And she basically coined the phrase, like she said, everything is figure outable. And I love that she said that. She kind of created her own word, which I guess if you're a national, you can do that. So yeah, so and I love that she said that, and she talked about how there's always an open door, and she shared her story, which like when she had first started Mary Kay, like she really started with basically nothing. I think she was like a new she was a teacher and didn't have a lot, and her husband didn't have that high of a paying job, and anyway, so she started Mary Kay, and she shared this story about how she was going to see somebody speak in I believe it was in Kansas City, and she remembered she had a friend there, and so she called her friend. Her friend said she could come stay there, and she would go with her to the event. And anyway, during her drive there, she had in her car, basically, like, she had no floorboard, so her husband had stuck something, what was it, aluminum down on the bottom of the car, on the floor of the car, so that like water wouldn't be splashing up and getting her dirty as she was driving. But as she was driving, she started smelling this terrible smell. So she pulled over to the side of the road. She tried to get out of her car and she realized her shoes had melted to the floor of her car. And then Stacy said that, like she didn't have a cell phone at that time, like, and so she couldn't call anybody. So she was like, what do I do? And so she said, you know what, I'm just gonna keep going. And she talked about how there was probably everyone, if she had called anybody, they would have said, just come home. But like for her, like everything was figure outable, and she decided that she was just gonna go anyway, even though it was crazy and her shoes were melting to her car. And so she gets there, and anyway, her friend there ended up signing her team or signing onto her Mary Kay team. And from there have been like nationals sprung from that one friend, who actually didn't stay in Mary Kay very long, but she stayed in enough to recruit some amazing people who are now amazing directors and senior directors. And so Stacy James is now a national sales director because she didn't give up when her shoes were melting in her car. And so like to me that was just kind of like an amazing thing, because now she then went on to share one of the national senior, the top director sales trip that she went on recently, and how she was riding on camels and riding on jeeps in the desert because she didn't give up when her shoes were melting to the floorboard. And so just crazy things happen, and but we just have to remember that God has epic things in the backgrounds of our lives, and that we can't see everything that's going to happen, but we just have to have faith that if we keep moving forward, even when it doesn't make sense, even when it sounds crazy, even when everybody around us is saying, you don't have to do this, this is nuts. But if we don't give up, then who knows what can happen.
That's awesome! Oh my gosh, do you love that Heidi got to train tonight? Thank you so much
you
for
for
being
letting me
on with
train.
me. So, yeah, wasn't she the one that said you can go from driving a car with a hole in the floorboard to driving Jeeps in the desert?
Right,
Like, just kind
yeah.
of like taking that perspective
Yeah.
of going from this to that. If you,
Yeah.
again, like Heidi said, don't give up and keep persisting and pushing through. So,
Yep.
awesome. One other thing I felt like would be really helpful for you guys to hear today is that complacency, another thing that Stacy said to us directors, is that complacency is a tortured soul. When you live in a state of you know that you could be more, but you're deciding to stay where you're at and you're deciding to stay stuck, it's as if you were like pushing God away and saying, nope, I am complacent. I'm okay where I'm at. I don't want to grow. I don't want to, dream. I don't want to become. I don't want to improve. And you're torturing your soul, the one that, the soul that God gave you, the heartbeat that God gave you, the dreams that God put inside your heart. If you're stunting that, it's almost as if you are just like closing off the blessings and the goodness and the things that could come your way. And so she said the easiest thing is to live out your dream, because the opposite would be living with a tortured soul. And so I was like, wow, that's getting deep. She's like, this company is the best company and opportunity for women on the face of the earth. And if you don't live in victory and a victorious life and own that and say, this is the best thing out there, this is what God has given to me, this is something, a dream that He's placed in my heart, then you are going to be living as a victim, thinking that everything is just supposed to be handed to you, and that, hard work is too hard. Like, when did hard work become a problem? That's what I want to know. I think a lot of people nowadays just feel so entitled to this, like it has to go perfectly, or I'm not going to do it. Where, if things happen in your business that just don't go the way that you planned, just know that it wasn't supposed to. Like, God is in control of certain things. And so work like everything depends on you, but also, work as if everything is dependent on you, but pray like everything's dependent on God. And, when things do cancel and things do happen, I've always been able to see, okay, what did I get out of that experience? I got, a different, I got to chat with this other person more. I got to help recruit this person. I got to do first steps last week with Jasmine because my guests canceled.
Yeah.
There's always something that happens that is just like, okay, like if I had just curled up in my bed and said meetings canceled or, nobody showed or whatever, then I wouldn't have given myself the grit, the gumption, and the confidence, and Heidi too, to be able to say like, I went anyway. And I learned something anyway, and I decided to grow my confidence and fill my bucket, and be the woman who did it anyway. I mean, there's something that just pours inside of you that says, okay, like another drop in my bucket of confidence and being a woman of my word, not just to my director, but to myself. To say, I told her I was going to be there. I'm somebody who doesn't not show up to meeting, and like that's saying something for who you be. It says something for who you are, 10 years from now. Like it's crazy to think, but that like the actions that you take right now and not, pushing away and victim mentality and, I think it was, who is it? The crazy one, Cindy Williams. She's the one who coined that I know of that coined this like V pose. She's like, if you're always like this and victim mentality, you can only see your own two fingers and you're blinding yourself from the opportunities that are out there. But if you stick it straight up in the air, you're a victor. You're like way out there, like sky high, so everyone can follow you, can see you, and can see that confidence and that glow about you. So are you going to be victim or are you going to be victor? Yeah, Basia. So let's see, is there anything else that we feel like we need to share? I mean, just overall in general, how do you feel like your bucket was filled just in the experiences that you got to go through in career conference? Just everything from whatever you felt like.
Well, it was really neat because like I went, 2 years ago, and then I went last year.
Yes.
And then I came this year, and I just like feel like I can see like the difference in me from when I was there 2 years ago till now. Like 2 years ago, I was like, oh yeah, I want to be a red jacket, and I was like, I don't know what that means, and like now I'm like, I know what that means, and I know I can do it, and I know what it takes, and I know like how hard I have to push to do it, and I feel like I just have more confidence. I know how to like focus on others and talk to other people, whereas my first year I felt like so scared, and I was looking around and I was like, am I doing things right? Well, this is kind of weird. And like this year I was just able to go, and I was just able to have this confidence, and like I don't care what other people are doing. I know what I'm here for.
Right.
I know what I'm doing here, and that's what I'm gonna do. And so I feel like just like I've seen a change in me, which was neat being there to be able to kind of see that difference.
So owning up to the dream that you have placed in your heart and accepting, what that is instead of just grabbing for anything out there. Because some people are there, like everything sounds awesome. I'm going to grab the whole platter, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But when you can like make that figure outableness, happen, I just recoined that, in a different way.
Yeah.
But when you can be a woman who's like, okay, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to have a singular focus. And that's super important, because I've been in that boat too, where I'm just griping and grabbing at every single thing. This company is amazing. They have so many things to offer you. But if you are chasing 17 rabbits at once, it is overwhelming, and you will feel like you are just, I don't even know, suffocating with awesome things around you, but not attaining any of them. And so it's that singular focus of red jacket. What does that mean to me? And then from red jacket, guess what happened in the meantime? Or guess what can now happen because you've reached that platform? So taking a singular focus and a step by step. I guess part of my experience was we went out to dinner, and there was a gal who asked, Emily, are you working on Queen's Court of Sales this year? And I'm like, no, I'm not. This poster behind us, like these diamonds and stuff, like last year, that was my focus. This year, it's not my focus. If it happens, great, but that is not my singular focus. And so I just straight up was like, no. And she's like, what? And I was like, well, call me crazy. Maybe I should be working on 5 different things at once. But I know my brain does not function well with having 5 different platters going on. So my singular focus is double or bust. Woo!
Love your hair.
We gotta check out her hair. Hold on. Okay, so one last thing I wanted to share with you is that if you want to change your lifestyle, you have to change your thought style. And what I mean by that is you have to speak out a different thought process that you're playing in your brain. And so again, going back to the visions and going back to the vision board, and going back to the affirmations that you tell yourself, and going out to what you think about, you actually do speak about, what you do bring about. It's like, oh gosh, this happened, and so now I'm going to talk about what didn't happen. Okay, now it's actually not happening again. That can happen, and you can get through this cycle that's just like, it's the movie that you're playing in your brain. So Deb Pike, again, in a different speech that she gave, said, pretend like you're the movie star in your own movie and put the ending before you play the beginning. So what does the ending look like? What's the happily ever after that happens at the end of the movie? From there, then put into play, who that rock star is and what she needs to be in order to make that ending happen. And what kind of attributes, what kind of talents, what kind of abilities, what kind of strengths does she possess that makes it so that this is the ending scene, that this is the end of the movie and the big finish, which I thought was really cool. Who's going to be in the credits? Who are going to be the people that you thank? That helped you finish this movie and make this dream come true. And what's the climax going to be like? Where is that going to happen? And no movie's great without a little bit of drama and a little bit of like things that didn't happen. So you got to go through some of the pitfalls and some of the sadness, or else the movie's just like, oh, that was easy and fun and nice. There was nothing exciting, nothing to bounce back from. And so I think that's what really spikes me, because I'm an actress and I'm a dancer and a singer, and I love the arts in that regard. And so I know how good a drama has to be rooted in at least something either sad or a little bit twisty, or a little, drama, a little bit of drama at least. And so anyway, I hope that really gives you a different thought process. But if you ever need to liberate something, it means that you were in bondage. So think about that right now. If you don't feel free from something, if you feel like you need freedom, it means technically you're stuck right now. You're in bondage from something. And so give yourself a perspective. If you haven't had that shift, have that shift, because that's what's up. That's totally what's up. So anyway, work when you can so that this business can pay you when you can't, like having babies or being sick or going through cancer for pray that doesn't happen, but that has happened to directors where the company just says, we get it, take the time off that you need, we'll totally be here when you get back and take care of you and keep your spot, which I think is amazing. So and if you don't pursue your dream, you will not be able to pass it on to someone else who's waiting for that dream. So that's all I have to say. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and please never, ever, ever miss another event. If you were able to come, just make that a priority to come with us to seminar. You can register, I think, in just like 2 weeks from now, to go with us to Dallas. And yes, we will be driving down or flying down, whichever one works for you. And it's going to be epic. So anyway, highlights of career conference.